thank you, fear, for trying to protect me. But when I tell you we got this, we got this. Today's topic is going to be the cost of fear. This is something that I talk about so often. And I'm like, what is my deal with fear? And I think it's because I have lived so many different chapters in my life through fear. And knowing that, like, it literally doesn't go away. Like, fear does not go away. There's this quote that says the only thing that cancels fear is courage. And that's beyond the truth. Fear costs you time, money, and energy, and a slew of other things, but these are like the top three. And so just to give like a quick story about when I wrote my book. In the spring of 2019, I went into publishing. In the fall of 2019, my book was ready to be published, and I did publish it in March of 2020. And do you know that I did not publicize my book because 2020, what year was that? What month was March, when everything was turning upside down? And when I look back at this, you know, I try to justify my reasons for not publishing it, because at the time I didn't want to publish it. And what I was telling myself is because, oh my gosh, you know, the world is going through this tough thing. This doesn't align with my values, which it does. I never wanted, and I still don't want to be one of those people that capitalize on people's pain or their weaknesses, or like a disaster. That's not me. I don't want to be that person, because I've been preyed on in that way, and it feels terrible. Didn't want to be a part of like, hey, here's my new book, give me this much money so we can go on. Like, I make my money. But when I look back on it now, I realized that really my fear was being scared of how people would respond. That's really what I was scared of. How people would respond during a time where we were in a world crisis. And how would they respond and look at me or judge me in a way that I was trying to capitalize on that moment, capitalize on my own gains. And then looking back at it now, there are so many, like during 2020, and you all probably know this, and 2021 was the uprising of entrepreneurship. If there was no better time for me to ride that wave that was already happening, or that had started happening and really had taken off, that was the time for me to get out of my head. And I republished in 2021. I just went from there. But I felt like the fact that I had wrote that book in 2019 and didn't even publish it to 2 years later, it's like, what? So a few things that I learned about my fear in that time, in that moment, you know, is the fact that fear is always going to be there. Like, I've done so many more things since then that relates to my business, and that is just straight up scary. So if you're waiting for fear to not be present, if you're waiting for fear to, like, you know, take its own way out the back door, it's not going to. You have to be the one to control that. Have enough courage, just a little more courage. Fear is here, your courage is here. You just have to have that much more courage to push through. You know, I used to have so many friends and just like random people on Instagram. They'll be like, oh my gosh, you know, I could never do this. I'm too scared to be in front of the camera, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. And to be honest, like the fear, I feel that little bit of anxiety maybe like 30 minutes to like 5 minutes before I turn the camera on. And then it's just like, I'm just telling myself, like, you do this all the time. All you do is talk. You love being in front of the camera. Like, if you can see your reflection, you love to look at yourself. Like, just show up as who you are and just make it happen. And I'm just like, that's the courage right there. That's the courage that I have to push through that. You know, it's not like that for everyone. It's more so just about you. What do you feel like you need? How much courage? What do you need in regards to courage in order to be able to do the thing that you're trying to do. Fear is there to protect you from, loss, failure. Like, it's there as like, oh no, don't do this, it could backfire on this, it may not work out, hey, chill out, calm down, not too hard, not too loud. While we respect that part of ourselves that doesn't want to see failure or doesn't want to experience any type of just uncomfortable feelings or emotions, you have to tell that part of yourself, hey, it's okay, we'll be just fine. Even if we fail, we'll bounce back, we'll learn from this, we'll keep on moving forward. You just breathe it through. You just take a breath, quiet that part of you that is so afraid that something may not work out right. Just quiet that part of you and tell yourself that it's going to be okay. And that's where that positive self-talk comes in, where you're just like, thank you, fear, for trying to protect me. But when I tell you we got this, we got this. The last thing I would like to say about fear is to cancel your fear with facts. This one can be a little bit difficult depending on what it is that you're fearful about. It kind of really goes really hand in hand with the other part. If you're fearful about, I don't know, let's just say an uncomfortable conversation, right? Because I have found myself in this place, and there are times that I still find myself in this place because I don't really like confrontation. I don't want to argue or debate with people. I do feel strongly about certain things, and I will walk right into those discussions. However, there are times where I may not just jump right into talking about talking about a topic that just makes me feel uncomfortable. And while I'm the type of person that likes to get like my points together before I start the conversation, because that helps me. That helps my anxiety. It helps me to prepare. So while I'm doing that and I'm thinking in my head, oh my gosh, what if they really hate this idea? What if they don't want to listen to me? What if I get caught up in what I'm saying and this doesn't work out? Well, then I just hit those with facts, right? What if they hate this idea? Okay, but what if they love the idea? Has this person hated my ideas before? They may not have agreed with them. They may not have understood the ideas, but have they truly hated them? No. Do they give me space to share my ideas? Yes. So, hey, knocking it back with some facts. What if I get caught up in my words? What if I don't say it the right way, or if I mess up? Okay, so what if you do? Take a break, take a breath, take a rest, and just say, hey, it's not exactly what I meant to say. This conversation is not going the way that I want it to. And refer back to your notes, Sherry, that you're already making. Refer back to your list that you already have to keep you on track, or to get you back on track if you get off track. It's really about reassuring yourself and hitting yourself with those facts, like things that have already happened. At least that's what works for me. It may not work for you, but these are my tips and my advice for pushing through fear. That's it. That's all that I have. When it comes to fear, and if you really look at your own life right now and you think about the last time you let fear stop you, I guarantee it costs you time, money, and or energy, as well as so many other things. That would be a good place to maybe journal about what fear stopped you from doing. What did it cost you the last time? You can use that as ammo for yourself to learn from it and to maybe just apply some of the tips that I gave today so that you can move forward and you're no longer in a place where fear is costing you these things. Fear is robbing you of the life you truly want to live. I hope you've enjoyed what I talked about today and hope that I see you again. Bye.